What's going on, you guys? It's your Huggable Hipster here, and welcome back to the channel. We're gonna get into my review in a moment, but first I want to give a shout out to Compulsion Games and Xbox for sending me a review code to review South of Midnight. Thank you guys so much. Keep in mind that there is going to be heavy psychological themes of trauma and abuse, so please, viewer discretion is advised when going into this one. Also keep in mind that there is going to be some spoilers throughout this review, so if you do not want to be spoiled and you're still playing through the game, please play through the game, then come back and watch this review. If you don't mind spoilers, then keep on watching. Trauma lives in the soul. It spreads and causes each breath and part of a person to be strained and pulled in different directions. South of Midnight showcases trauma and personifies it, making it a monster to defeat. From fixing the broken to experiencing hers and everyone else's trauma, Hazel takes her pain and weaves it into something beautiful, into something that helps others. The rippling effect of pain is a common theme in South of Midnight, affecting Hazel and each person she helps along the way. This is a story of love, trauma, childhood abuse, and putting someone back together so they can start to heal again. During my time with South of Midnight, there was a definitive heaviness surrounding the game that made the story so incredibly powerful to witness. This game won't be for everyone based on the fact of just how much trauma surrounds each character and how the story is presented to the player. With heavy themes of childhood abuse and adult trauma in general, you are going to have a conversation with yourself if this is the right game for you in the present moment. I loved how the story approached the empathy that Hazel shows to everyone she helps. Hazel's goal is to find her mother. Yes, along the way though, she has to heal those in need of it. As a driving factor of the game, she needs to help people before finally helping herself, going through and aiding characters like Benji, Two-Toe Tom, and Hug and Molly. Stigma's what happens when the pain turns rotten. Necrosis of the heart, mind, and soul start to form when the pain is the only thing present, and South of Midnight does an excellent job conveying how healing is a necessity for growth to occur and take over the stigma, preventing a wound from healing. Now, the mechanics of South of Midnight are whimsical and fun, from using your needles to unravel the pain and hates, to platforming and taking flight far above the setting sun. Now, the mechanics aren't anything new, but they are utilized in such a way that brought the story to life. The platforming in this game is so much fun, and flying from point to point was exhilarating because I know how clumsy I am, and just making it to the other side is an accomplishment within itself. The thing I found to be rather annoying though was the camera when flying from point to point or in the wind tunnels. I found myself readjusting the camera to avoid barbs or falling. Now, hates, much like trauma, come in different varieties, giving the player something interesting to battle. These are the common enemies that you will face in the game that are fought in order to clear stigma. What's fascinating is that hates aren't around along the way or when Hazel is randomly walking around in the game. They are for specific purposes to guide the story along. Whether it's using Crouton to possess one of the haints to make battling a group of them easier, or utilizing your tools in the many ways to fight them, know that the story of haints runs much deeper than a common enemy you fight in South of Midnight. Now, from haints to Two-Toe Tom, this game is based on mythical creatures from the South, which adds to the richness of the story that the game exudes. Utilizing folklore from the Deep South to paint a story-rich picture is why South of Midnight is my personal game of the year. It takes mythology from the lives of real people and implements it within a game, giving it substance. Now, haints are a part of the cultural traditions of the Deep South, particularly the Gullah Geechee community. A haint is a ghost or malevolent spirit that would seek to steal or harm children. In particular, naughty children. I think it's such a cool touch within the game. You see in one part with Hug and Molly that part of the house is painted blue, and according to the lore and pieces of literature that I've read, you would paint your house or parts of your house blue to keep the haints at bay. Then there's another story like Two-Toed Tom, which originated in the 1920s. There was a 14-foot alligator that would regularly cause harm to men, women, children, eat livestock. Like, this alligator was a menace. And then you do have the story of Hug and Molly, which would be just a ghost who would go up to people, hug them, and scream in their ear. Like, there's just so much. And then the legend of Kushma, who was a sleep paralysis demon. This is actually why it's my game of the year, because of the richness of the stories that were brought into this game, the richness of the lives that people have lived that you see brought into South of Midnight. It's why I love it so much. There are so many more bits and stories from the South that coat the world of South of Midnight, making the history of the South the game's greatest asset. The way South of Midnight presented itself was raw and honest, and this game, while short, exists in the world as a stunning reminder of empathy and just how powerful helping another person is. I loved every moment of this game, from the jazz that played when fighting the Haints at the very end of the game, the unfiltered humanity that was present throughout the story. Every character we meet is dealing with something traumatic, something that they have to come to terms with. The music in this game encapsulates the feeling and emotions of the characters in each area. Sometimes it's happy-go-lucky, sometimes it's bitter and sad. Music has a way of showcasing emotions better than words ever could, which is why South of Midnight also does extremely well in telling a story through the score that is heard throughout the game. With the balance of the music, the psychology, southern folklore, and a deeply emotional story, Compulsion Games created a title that is filled with love and care. Each thing, each moment in this game is meticulously done. Nothing was an afterthought. Weaving the strands of a broken soul is no easy task, especially when one of the souls that is broken is causing the most problems. South of Midnight is a lesson to the gaming industry that sometimes you don't need a 100+ hour game or an adventure that ends in guns blazing and chaos. Sometimes the best games and the ones with the heaviest messages and meanings are the shortest ones. But that was my review of South of Midnight. I hope you all enjoyed it, and if you guys like my face and what I do, please be sure to subscribe and hit that bell down below. May you find your worth in the waking world, dear hunter, and I will see you all in the next one. Umbasa.